How you do, it's Wes Koya. Now I just wanted to make a semi-quick video trying to talk about this computer I got a couple days ago and my experiences with it. Now, as you can plainly see, it's an HP Pavilion 500 298W. It has an AMD Elite quad-core, 8GB of RAM, DDR3 type, 2GB hard drive, a Blu-ray player built in, and also a Wi-Fi chip. Now the computer looks really slick and it's very powerful. The only downside is that the hard drive doesn't get that good of a read speed in the Experience Index, which is one of the problems really. Not the hard drive, just the Windows Experience Index, and everything that I've had which was a problem with this computer all boils down to Windows 8. Now it obviously came pre-installed with Windows 8 as all the new computers do, but it's just a completely different experience. When I used to get computers that had Windows 7 on it, it would have stickers on it saying, you know, what the processor was, the version of Windows it was, the product key, that'd all be on here. This computer comes completely blank with no stickers or nothing. And when I started using it, Windows 8 just felt like I was wasting more time navigating around than actually using the computer. And that's obviously a huge downside, because you don't want to waste time navigating when you can easily just be using your computer as it's meant to be used. So I obviously didn't like that. And I also didn't like how they make you use your Windows, Hotmail address to, log into the computer when I use Gmail. So I don't know if there's a way to get around that or not, but it's just a complete load of shit, okay? So whoever likes it obviously doesn't have taste in computer performance and doesn't know what they're saying. So now right away I'm just like, okay, I'm going to keep the recovery partition and I'm going to just go down to Windows 7, because Windows 7 is a huge upgrade in my opinion. So I go get my recovery, or not my installation disk for Windows 7, and I put it into the computer and it doesn't automatically boot off of it. And I try manually selecting it as the first boot device from the BIOS, and it still does not boot from it at all. And after a couple hours of opening up the computer, messing around, I finally realized that there's this technical name for a certain option that's enabled in the BIOS, and when you try to disable it, it comes up with a big red screen warning you not to. And when you do, it finally allows you to boot to your Windows 7 install CD. So I'm like, oh, that's fucked up. Like, they're trying to make you not install Windows 7. So I'm like, okay, after that big fucking mix up, I'm finally able to install Windows 7. When I'm into the installation process, I'm in the partition to the hard drive, and it says you cannot use this because it's like a GPT type of partition, right? So I format the partition thinking that would fix the problem. But no, if one partition is that type of version, you cannot install Windows 7 unless the whole drive is wiped. So I open up the command prompt and I wipe the whole hard drive, which is, I'm like, oh, my recovery partition is going to be gone. But who cares, right? I have the product key still, which is the main thing about the whole system anyways. Wrong. Like I said, there's no stickers on the computer. They don't do that anymore for some reason. And if you can see the computer in this lighting, there's no stickers on the front, and I assure you there's no stickers on the back, the sides, or the bottom. Or at least the ones that matter. So there's no product key, and since I did that, there's no way of accessing the product key. Because after I formatted the hard drive, I figured out that there's a way where you can actually, really go down in the hard drive files and find out the product key. But it shouldn't be like that. Like, it should be on the documentation that comes with the computer, which it's not, and that's a big letdown. It's just, when I got onto the installation screen, what I had to do, after I installed it, it wouldn't even work properly. There was no drivers support. All the drivers that come pre-installed on the Windows 7 installation disk were not supported by this computer, because all the drivers weren't on the disk. They were all meant for Windows 8. There was a new set of drivers only meant for Windows 8. So I had to get a USB flash drive and plug it into the computer's USB, and the USB didn't even work. So I don't know what happened, but I think it was just the 3.0 ones that weren't working, which you can see the blue ones were other 3.0s. So none of the 3.0s were working. This whole front didn't work, and the 3.0s on the back didn't work. But I think there's 4 2.0s in the back, which those worked. So I was able to locate the drivers, which took like an hour. And once I got the broadband internet connection on there, I was able to get all the rest that I needed. And ever since then, I've been pretty well good. But all of that, to go to Windows 7, they're clearly trying to push you away from trying to upgrade to it. They're making it as hard as possible just to upgrade to Windows 7, which is a huge letdown. And it's a letdown itself when you can't even keep your product key after doing something like this. Like, even if your hard drive was to break, and if, say, a person was going to actually fix your computer, they wouldn't have the product key that originally came with it, which is kind of a letdown. But I got it working, and as you can see, it has really good ratings. Genuine. The ratings are pretty successful. They're pretty good. Only one I said I was disappointed at the beginning of the video is the disk transfer rate. It's a 5.9, but who cares? It's a 2 terabyte hard drive. I mean, I'd rather have that any day over an SSD that only has like 240 gigs because it's just so expensive, you know. So, you know, that's good. But that just leads me to another problem that I had with Windows 8. On Windows 8, you can't even view the Windows Experience Index, and there's a way where you can actually get into it by using the command prompt. But when you even do that, it brings up like basically all this in the text format that the prompt uses with the black background, but all the numbers say 0. So what's the point of even accessing this in the command prompt if all the numbers that you're trying to access are just going to be 0? So yeah, and I've seen people that were commenting on things that was written on the internet saying, why would you even want to upgrade to Windows 7? But he said downgrade, but you know, it's obviously an upgrade. Because there's no driver support because everything's being just permanently made for Windows 8, which is obviously false because I worked around it and was able to make this completely Windows 7 accessible. As you can even see, I got, where is it? As you can even see, I'm going to show you, it's in the network settings here. Okay, Network Share Center. I have all the network adapters that are installed on this computer, even the Bluetooth. So it's clearly accessible. The guy doesn't know what he's talking about, but they try to make it think that you're unable to use this computer with the drivers that are pre-installed in the box, because they're obviously different drivers than what are pre-installed on the Windows installation disk. So I'm probably going to be forgetting more issues that I've experienced with Windows 8, but as you can see, it's not worth having. It's terrible. So it just takes so long to navigate, and the guy here, the guy was saying also, there's no driver support, which is obviously false. And why would you want to upgrade to Windows 7 when they're going to be releasing a start menu, apparently a real, genuine start menu, in September 2014, which still isn't going to fix many of the problems which Windows 8 has. There's many other problems which I experienced with Windows 8, not being like, bad, but it just takes too long for aesthetics, really, and nobody really cares about the aesthetics. They care about their time and getting things finished, which is what I think Windows 7 is all about. So Windows 8, like, what are you thinking? It's just like they pulled off the OS from a Windows Phone 8 and then plopped it onto a computer. And I remember when I first tried the beta of Windows 8 back in, 2012 was it? I don't know, it was around there. There were certain games built into it that were only like meant to be used with a touchscreen computer. Like, there was a piano that you could only use with a touchscreen computer. There was some other games that you could only use with a touchscreen computer, and they really shouldn't even bother with the Windows 8 anymore. They're gonna try fixing it, but you can't fix which has already been fucked up. Like really, I suggest that you don't believe that you cannot go back to Windows 7. It's possible. There is still driver support. It's a lie. There may not be any of the drivers that are on the Windows installation disk, but you can access them and you can get the system running flawlessly. Just remember, go in the BIOS and disable that one option that makes it so you cannot install from a bootable disk, and you should be ready to go, because they've really tried to make you not upgrade to Windows 7 as much as possible, but if you do, you will not regret it. So this computer is working great. I was able to find all the drivers, even the USB 3.0 drivers, and you know, every driver that was on it when I had Windows 8 is now on it again. So thanks for watching, and see you guys later.